What's on that?
I was really pleased with the performance. I thought our players, a lot of young players in this team, Patterson, Nicholson, Walker, Hamilton, Suter, to push a team of Celtic that's buying guys for £4 million and huge football players in England. We gave them a run for their money today, and probably, in my opinion, should have won the game if it wasn't for two poor decisions.
Talk us through the decisions you're talking about then.
I'm just disappointed with the penalty one with Robbie Muirhead, and I think it was over the top. Toure uses experience and nudges into the back heel. He doesn't make any contact with the ball, but it goes down as a penalty, and then second yellow card as well for Brown. That's twice in the games previously we've had that decision against. I think the referee's got to be more consistent in these decisions.
Did you feel on the flip side though that you might have been fortunate to get your penalty? Did you feel there was
definitely? That's what, there's no consistency at all. That's what I'm looking at. If he gives one at one end, he's got to get there. But I don't know what's going on. But look, the performance was really good. We pressed them really well. We had Celtic panicking for a long period of the game, and that's international footballers, and we just need to keep developing and moving in the right direction. I think it's a pat in the back to all the players.
Another difficult game next week, Aberdeen. Is that the sort of games you relish?
Yeah, it's great. If we play like that, we'll win the game. No doubt. We play Wednesday night as well. We have to do the same. But the level's set now for us. We just need to make sure we try and win the games.
We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, disappointment for Robbie Neilson. I'm delighted to say that Neil McCann and I are joined in the studio now by the new manager of Celtic, a winning Celtic manager, Brendan Rodgers. Well, Brendan, what did you make of your first experience of the Scottish Premiership?
Well, it was a terrific atmosphere.
Just
it goes very quickly. But I thought it was a decent game. At times it lacked quality, I've got to be honest. But I've got to give huge admiration to the players, because I thought that in moments in the game they did show good quality. They accepted the risk we put in the game in the last 20 minutes. We took off a defender and went with two wide players, but on a number 10 to play in behind the front players. And obviously young Kieran Tierney dropping into a back three. So they accepted that, and we ended up getting the victory. But really, really tough game. Hearts never easy here. Obviously, of course, very strong and rugged, and the game gets broken a lot. Pitch was a bit sticky and whatever. So, but the way the players handled it was outstanding.
And did you learn a little bit more about your players today, given what they gave you? And as you say, it's a trying stadium this year. You came here with Liverpool 4 years ago, and it was a tough like that now.
Absolutely, and it is renowned up here, and probably in Britain as a real tough place to come. I thought their supporters were fantastic. I thought our supporters were great. We could hear them right the way through. But when you've come here, you've earned the result, and I think people will look at us today and think that's actually a really good result coming to here at this stage of the season.
For those of us who've watched James Forrest sitting out in the cold in the last few months, it's been very nice to see him in the team and scoring today. What is it about him that's caught your eye? Why have you given him the opportunity to shine?
Well, I know when I was in England, when I was watching James, that I thought he was a talent, and then he seemed to go off the radar for a couple of years. So when you've got a player of that talent, he's clearly got the talent. So for me, it was just trying to release that from him a little bit.
Stuart Armstrong in an offside position, or are you satisfied he didn't try to get involved?
Well, no, he was in an offside position, but I don't think he was trying to be involved in it. But it's a wonderful finish, and it's what we're saying to James. He needs to add that part to his game. But as you see there, it's a lovely guided finish into the corner, and got us off to a good start.
You said you watched him. Were you thinking about him maybe taking him down south when you were in England yourself? And might he get an extended deal here because his contract's almost up?
Well, that's something that we want to do. That was something that him and I spoke about. I said to him at the beginning, because I think he had 6 months left in his deal. But he came to me in Slovenia and said he's loving the work, loving the ambience of the group, and he'd love to stay. So I think Peter and his representatives are getting together to get him signed up, and he's a very important player for us.
I was saying, Brendan, before the game, I felt it would take a couple of months before you really start to get your ideas drilled into the players. You've been
Not that it was missing, I just know that for us to make them extra steps, it was clear, wasn't it, the last couple of years the team hasn't qualified for the Champions League, so and that's the place where the club wants to be. But I also think if you want to be a developing team, it's something that you you have to have within that. And throughout pre-season, we've worked on that. We've developed that game mentality to stay calm and composed. And even when we conceded the goal, I thought we stayed pretty calm. And like I say, the players accepted the risk to play and to get the result. So I think the football idea will come. I still need one or two players in order to help us with that. But I think the players, above everything else, have shown a wonderful attitude to the game to want to take on board what we're saying.
Neil thought it wasn't a penalty to Hearts. I don't imagine you'll disagree, but to have a look at the replay and give us your take on this. Neil thought it was a dive, in fact.
Yeah, no.
Did you see any contact?
No, I think Neil's absolutely right. And in fairness to the referee, I spoke to him afterwards, and he said it himself. He said he was apologised for the mistake. And listen, the referees will make mistakes, you know, and I think this one was an honest mistake. He's not helped by the player, of course, and Neil's absolutely spot on.
He's expecting contact.
He's expecting
Kieran Tierney's
contact.
just pulled out.
He's dived over, and he's got a good view of it there, the ref. So maybe the whole intensity of the game maybe just reacted to it, but thankfully it didn't cost us.
The penalty did go in at the back of the net, of course, and as you mentioned, Celtic showed a little bit of character to bounce back from this. Talking about the defence, what about the performance of Toure in his first one and a bit games for Celtic?
Yeah, well, he's got a bit to go yet in terms of his fitness, Carlo. But what he is, he's a great talker and a leader in the team, and that's certainly what this group has needed. You know, you get Scott Brown, who I thought was outstanding today. I've got to say, you know, his acceptance of the ball, he does all the dirty work, and he's got quality, the boy. So I thought he was excellent. And Calloway behind him just gives you that assurance. So yeah, he's, as I said, he's still got a bit to go in terms of his fitness. He started later than the others, but I think the team are happy and comfortable when he's in there because it gives that good balance.
Robbie Neilson, in his interview a moment ago, said he thought this could have been a penalty for Hearts. Here's a chance for you to look at it for the first time. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought at the time we were slow coming out, to be honest, initially. No, he's just slipped there. I think it's clear. Probably that little plastic bag there that you see on the... I think... So Carlos come round, made the first one, but he's actually stayed up.
I don't think that's a penalty either. And you always look at the player's reaction. He's had a little look, but he's not going crazy. And I think the defender's well within his rights to get touch tight and try and have some sort of...
He has to have contact with him. He has
to the position.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, what I loved, I said Igor Rossi did, was celebrating Griffith's chance going into the net in the first half. It was Kolo Toure. So anybody that thinks, he's not really bothered, he's coming up here to Scotland just to kind of swan around. Did you see him celebrating? That's what you want from defenders. That's what you're going to bring, I feel, to Celtic, is that winning mentality and that resolution.
Yeah, and that's clear that's come into the team.
Now, did it take a superhuman effort to get Scotty Sinclair registered in time for this one?
Just about 6 weeks. It was a long process, but the boy's a goal scorer. I knew him when he was 16. We took him in at Chelsea. He was Bristol Rovers when he was 16. He was a striker, and when I took him into my youth team, which was a really good youth team, with guys like Ryan Bertrand and that who were playing at Southampton and a number of other boys, I put him to the side and play off. I didn't think he was going to get in front of Drogba or Edgar Johnson or Crespo, so we played him from the left side. And but because he's got the instinct to score, he runs into the box. And he's just been unfortunate, I think, in the last couple of years. Brilliant for me at Swansea, a couple of years drifting in the game. But now I think coming back to work, hopefully in this way of working that he's comfortable with,